Let's hear it for the girls. Let's give the girls a hand.
Settle down, Denise Williams.
Maybe she's no Juliet.
Ooh, that... Wow, stop. Let it go, let it go. Oh.
Good evening. On behalf of Three Sheets Nation, the place where drinks come true, we welcome all of you to the podcast, Three Sheets to the Mouse. We are gathered here tonight around the adult beverages to share a drink, to share a thought, and to share news. We hope you enjoy our story tonight, Erections of Earth.
I know it sounds sordid, but you'll be rewarded when at last I am given my dues. And injustice deliciously squared, be prepared.
Saluti amici, benvenuti a Tre Fogli al Mouse. This is episode 142 of the Three Sheets to Mouse podcast. We are three average guys with a love for all things Disney, and joining me tonight are two guys who know what to do when they do what they do in Rome, if you know what I mean. If you capiche. Adam?
Walk like an Egyptian.
That's the Bengals.
Okay, I promise I won't do that again.
I didn't say it was banned.
But I gotta tell you, I gotta tell you. I'm sorry, I'm just thinking of the right words to say.
Oh, these are lyrics. I just know the one. You literally the one line I know is
that's
walk
when
like
in Rome.
I promise.
Yes, promise. When in Rome.
Okay. Yep. Nope. Not me.
Sorry.
You don't know that song?
No. Afraid I don't. I'm afraid I don't know that song. Tim, do you know that song?
I do, but I don't know what you said in the beginning, but I feel like I should be offended.
Don't be offended. I ran this through 4 different translations. I'm just asking for nudes in Italian is all.
Ew.
So, so yeah, tonight we're going to do a little talk about Disney parks, Disney booze, debauchery, and we're going to be hanging out in Epcot. But first, I want to know what Tim is drinking to get over his ailments.
Yeah, I've been sick for the last couple of days. And
Pop's been under the weather.
I have. And I haven't drank anything in a while. But tonight I have Glenfiddich Reserve Cask. Single malt Scotch whiskey.
And how is that? I don't have tasting notes handy, but I'm going to say something about caramel, berries.
Pencil shavings.
Well, my taste buds are
Biscuits.
off today because I'm for being sick, but it tastes like whiskey.
Okay,
So-
and that's what you want out of a whiskey, I think, is you want it to taste like whiskey.
It tastes like Scotch. It tastes like every other Glenfiddich I had except for the anniversary edition, which was not good.
The Glenfiddich I had was nice. It was okay. I enjoyed it. It was fine. Adam,
Yes.
you okay over there?
I'm fine. I got Tim's crud.
Oh,
Yeah.
well,
So I've been at work for the last 2 days, but I've been cleaning the house, so getting ready for upcoming visits from special
Yeah, I was
peoples.
glad it was this week and not Thanksgiving week. 'Cause
what are you drinking? Yours is in like a ceramic cup, and it's got a spoon. It looks like tea.
It's a hot toddy.
It's a hot toddy. Okay.
With-
Well, there's some hooch in there somewhere.
Yep, Jack Daniels. That's all we had in the
Oh,
house.
Sinatra?
No Sinatra. We don't have Sinatra.
Oh.
that's too bougie for us.
Well, not down here, apparently.
It's the only thing that I would drink, Jack. Like, I warm it up, I throw some water and some lemon and some honey.
It's the
It's
only
okay
time
with
he's
Jack
allowed
Daniels.
to drink Jack Daniels, too.
I'm not a fan.
Is it even? Oh, it's not even like the reserve. The
No,
single
it's
barrel.
Jack
Red
Daniels.
Jack.
Some
It is just off the shelf.
Jack
Brush my
Daniels.
teeth with a bottle of Jack
Yes.
Kesha. Okay.
Trash bag. Trash bag.
Trash. Well, hey, speaking of trash, I went back to my roots, which is it's funny to hear me say because I'm from Arkansas. Not in the location where they brew hams, but it seems to be my old standby that I go to whenever I grab a beer. And yeah, I'm kicking back with a couple cans of hams. It is America's classic premium beer, born in the land of sky blue water.
Fancy.
If you were wondering.
Isn't sky blue water rain?
Yep. Well, not in Detroit,
No,
or at
there's
least
more
in
of a brown.
Flint. Yeah,
It's more Flint water?
yes, it's Flint water. This is brewed in the family tradition from the purest water, so obviously this doesn't come from Flint. And the choicest barley, malt, grain, and hops. So I feel like those are just a whole bunch of fancy buzzwords to make you think it's worth a damn.
Sounds like it.
It's 50 cents a can if you were to break it down.
So it's Pabst.
I prefer it to Pabst.
Oh, speaking of which, have you seen Pabst is doing a 99 can family pack for the holidays?
That should... Have we seen the price on what that log of beer looks like?
No, I have not.
Okay, because you figure it should be around $50 for 99 cans, but if you're buying 99 cans, come on, man, let's just make it a thing and go with, $45.
But how much do you have 99 bottles of beer on the wall?
Well, they're cans of beer.
Okay, 99 cans of beer on the wall. It's all about the song.
I know. Well, but I mean, who's the asshole who just couldn't find a way to stick one more in the box?
Well, I mean, a box is square, so it's going to be equal top and bottom, so there's space for 100 beers. I'm
Right,
sure they've
but,
got
I
a
mean,
little spacer on one side where you're missing a beer, and
It's either 2 rows of 50, which I think is
That'd
probably
be
about.
fuck ton long, though.
it is long.
So yeah, no, this is going to be 3 rows of 33.
Because they
That's
couldn't
why you
fit in
get
a
99.
third beer. That's why.
I bet it's because they wanted people to sing the damn song. Like,
I guarantee you it's about
they
the
wanted
song.
people to sing the damn song.
Guaranteed it's about the song.
Well, I wish Hams would do that. That's all I'm saying. I would get me 99 cans of hams. 99 ham cans. Hams cans.
Sounds like a personal problem.
It does.
But you know what? I'm airing my grievances.
You got 99 problems, but hams ain't one?
I do. I got 99 bananas. One of Adam's favorite liquors.
Ugh. I don't like schnapps.
I know it's not one of your favorites. It's nobody's favorite. It's like what you have when you're 18, 17, 16.
It's actually
15.
what all TGI Fridays drinks are made from.
I was drinking Boone's Farm when I was 16.
No, I was drinking ice water and fire water.
I wasn't drinking. I didn't drink until I was like 23.
Really?
Yeah, but I've made up for it. I was a late bloomer, I guess. I was that straight edge kid in high school.
No, I wasn't.
I'm not vegan by any means.
I was a jagged edge kid in high school.
You were that jagged little pill?
Yes, I was.
Well, it's a great segue. So speaking of narcotics,
I'd like to see this now.
Yeah,
Let's
go
go.
for it. Let's hear this.
Go
one.
for it.
we're going to World Showcase. That's not really a good segue from narcotics to
No,
World Showcase.
not even close.
We're not doing the Mexico Pavilion.
Oh, jeez.
We're you got the mob kind of has their hand in it, and we're doing Italy, okay? Okay.
You could say that.
Mussolini.
Oh, jeez.
Well, this just took a turn.
Yes, by a lot.
I didn't pick where they put the countries, okay, when they were planning World Showcase.
Yeah, it's kind of odd how they laid it out.
A little bit.
America is flanked by the Axis powers.
No, it happens that way. Well,
Right?
originally, America was supposed to be placed in front.
Oh, yeah, top center, man.
No, it was actually supposed to be placed opposite of where it is.
Like where the,
Right.
where the
Well,
two
I say top. I mean, like
gift shops
right
are
there.
over there.
Yes, in between the two gift shops. That's where it was originally placed. If you were watching the show on Disney Plus, The Imagineer Story. I'm sure I'm getting the title wrong because I can't think.
The Imagineering story.
The Imagineering Story. If you look very carefully at one of the videos that they're showing of early Epcot, you can see the original where the original American Pavilion was supposed to be placed.
Or you could go back and listen to our Ultimate Epcot on the American Adventure, which I think was the last Ultimate Epcot we did before this one,
Probably because we're going in order.
because I covered it. Yay me!
What episode is it?
3. 37. That's my number. I don't know what episode it was. Not my job.
Mikey, the episode in question is 3 Sheets to the Mouse, episode 122, The American Adventure of America Pavilion. Also, it's not my job either, but what do I know? I'm just artificial intelligence. You haven't even given me a name, you big dumb jerk.
So yeah, tonight this is going to be basically a salute to all of Italy, but mostly Venice.
That was perfectly timed. How did you do that?
I turned off the notifications. That was a damn sizzle ring going off.
That was fucking awesome. A salute. Sorry.
Which ring did you close?
I'm sure it was my sit go. It was stand. It's got to be stand.
It's always
I don't
stand.
move. Listen, it was the pink one.
That's your move, goal. That's your move.
Hot damn.
Hot dog.
Oh, I did laundry.
Oh.
I fold standing up.
So do I.
So yeah, this is a salute to all of Italy, but mostly Venice, because that's kind of what you have in the Italy Pavilion. It's just it looks like Venice. So, start off, like a lot of the pavilions in World Showcase, the Italy Pavilion has changed drastically from when it was originally designed to what we have now. Initially, Imagineers wanted to build an area that would represent southern Italy, and this area would have included kind of a dark ride attraction where guests could board gondolas and travel through the various Italian, scenes, and eventually you'd be released. You'd exit into the middle of some Roman ruins, and you could kind of have like a walkthrough and like a hands-on exploring thing, which would have been really cool, I think. I mean, I can look at Italian architecture all day long, but it doesn't make me want to experience that. But like the ruins and stuff like that.
So you have, just side note, you have no desire to actually go to Italy to see this in real life?
Not like no. I would want to see the Colosseum, just all the old shit. I'd like to see the old shit. That's just me. I don't know why, but that's always just kind of been something that spoke to me. Just
Yeah, I want to go see the Colosseum, the Leaning Tower of Pisa.
If these pillars
Venice.
could talk,
Before it sinks.
Venice is fine. It's cool. I mean, it's one of those Marvel kind of things because it is just basically floating.
Not for long.
No, not for long. I mean, but and the whole getting around with the gondolas, the touristy thing. I mean, it looks great. It looks fun. Looks cool. I would do it. But if someone said, "Hey, let's go to Italy this weekend. What do you want to do?" I'm gonna be like, "Old shit. I want to see the old shit.
I want to eat.
That's not sinking
Yeah,
into water."
I want to eat.
And do vineyard tours.
I want to eat a lot.
We keep trying to plan an Adventures by Disney trip, but it keeps getting pushed back because it's expensive. So.
Yeah, especially yeah. Yeah. So similar to other early plans that you see and you hear for World Showcase, for instance, the Germany Pavilion, they were going to have their own little kind of dark ride, their river cruise that was supposed to be on the Rhine River. The southern Italy area of the pavilion got pushed back until the phase 2 for Epcot. And unfortunately, that phase 2 for Italy never happened. The money that was originally designated to go to the southern Italy expansion was there, but ended up getting used for Morocco, Journey into Imagination, Horizons, and some early works that were done on the Living Seas.
Well, phase 2 never actually happened either at all.
Right.
So
right, they just took the money and sent it. I mean, everywhere they scattered it.
Yeah, it was just because there were other things planned for phase 2 besides Italy and Germany. There were supposed to be other countries and all this other stuff.
So even without a feature attraction, Italy opens up with the rest of World Showcase October 1st, 1982. The pavilion designed with Venetian architecture in mind and had lots of, recognizable points of interest that were recreated. And it had one restaurant, L'Originale Alfredo di Roma Ristorante.
So good.
And it opened with 2 stores, La Gemma Italia and Il Bel Cristallo.
Excuse me.
But last thing it opened up, and it was home to the Theater al Fresco, which is where you have the street performers.
Kinda?
Kind of. You know. Yeah. Now, since its creation, the Italy Pavilion has not seen very many changes. I think the major change came when L'Originale Alfredo di Roma Ristorante closed. Boy, I blew that through, didn't I? That was back in 2007. It was like one of the most popular restaurants in Epcot. Like Adam said, very good, he says. It was buena.
Bueno is Spanish.
It's all Latin. If you want to boil it down. Disney actually decided not to renew the contract with the operator because they were supposed to build a second restaurant in Italy by within 25 years of opening, and the owner of Alfredo di Roma did not follow through on their end of the contract to build a second restaurant, so Disney kicked him out, and then you got the Patina group came in and took over.
Well, I mean, we'll get to it when we get into food. There's more to that story.
There always is.
Because the whole company pulled out of the United States. Because they used to be a restaurant
in New York.
Mm-hmm. No. It's gone now, too.
So after that restaurant closed and was replaced with Tutto, you had some more changes, and the second restaurant, Via Napoli, opens up, and followed by the Tutto Gusto wine bar in 2012, and that's kind of the short and flavorful history of the Italy Pavilion. Listen, it's a small area. It is like a very small pavilion area, I think.
It seems tiny, but when you're in it, it seems pretty big, if that makes any kind of sense.
It's like a TARDIS?
Almost.
Bigger on the inside. Yeah, it goes fairly deep into the back.
Yeah, it does go kind of deep back. But it just seems like the width of it is just like the width of a small street.
Yes, definitely.
But then, actually, though, if you figure in the little island they got for the fireworks to be viewed out there, and if you count the area where they got the little, the boats moored, the gondolas moored out there, if you want to claim that, if Italy wants to, lay claim to that land, and then, never mind. Maybe it is bigger than I thought. I don't know. Does Italy have a navy?
Oh, God. Anyway, since we were stuck on the restaurants, Tim, why don't you tell us about some of the food options in Italy?
Oh, you mean like Blaze Pizza and Olive Garden and... Oh, just kidding.
This guy with his Blaze Pizza.
Oh, he thinks he's funny. Olive Garden.
I am funny.
Yum.
Hey, listen though, I can eat breadsticks all day. Also,
It's not
me
real
and
Italian
cheese.
food.
I don't care. She sits there and says, "Tell me when." How about when you're done with that block of cheese, ma'am? Then that's your win.
So the restaurants in Italy are all operated by, as Mikey said, the Bettini Group. The first one of the sit-down restaurants is Via Napoli, and it is inspired by the dining and architecture trademarks of Naples and Florence. And the house specialty is Neapolitan pizza. They literally have like 25 or 30 different ways you can get a pizza. The main feature of the restaurant is a trio of brick ovens that are named Vesuvius, Etna, and Stromboli. And those are the 3 main active volcanoes of Italy.
Stromboli's an actual volcano?
It's an island that's off the coast of Sicily that is made up of...
Is it shaped like a Stromboli?
No.
I really want it
I
to
legit
be.
thought I thought that I misunderstood him because I was just hungry and I was just going to roll with it when he said Stromboli. That's the truth. I was thinking, did he say
what
Stromboli?
just recently opened that's connected to Via Napoli is Pizza al Taglio, which translates to pizza by the slice. So you can walk up to this window and get a pizza by the slice.
I did
So
not
it's
know
your
this.
quick serve.
Yeah, it's like 2 years ago I think it opened.
How come
It's
we
really
never do
expensive.
this?
It's like
Oh.
$8
I was about to
or
say,
$7 to
yeah,
$8 for a
it's
slice.
probably
of pizza.
$8 to $10 for a slice.
When you can go inside and get like a pie for $18. We've eaten here. Some of the main features of Via Napoli's their signature drinks, and they don't have the one that I had anyway, but they had the limoncello mule. I think Adam had that one.
Yes, I did.
Which is Grey Goose, L'Orange vodka, limoncello, peach puree, orange juice, pineapple juice, lime juice, and ginger beer. But one of the more famous ones is called the Sicilian Sunset. It's vodka, orangecello, orange, and pineapple juice over shaved ice. So I hear everybody talking about that one. We've never had it.
What about the pretty people who serve you?
Oh yeah, all the people. It seems like all the people that work in this place are very good looking. It's very.
I would say that about probably most of the authentic people in World Showcase. If they are
True.
From the region, it's just like even like the Germany pavilion. Those guys and gals handing out the Hefeweizen from the little cart. Oh, never mind. They get my pretzel twisted.
Oh, I don't know if you want it twisted.
So, fun fact, the water that they use to make the pizza, and I don't know why, but it's imported from here, from Pennsylvania.
Well, because Florida water's bad.
But wouldn't you import it from New York? Because New York makes the best pizza.
Well,
New York water makes the best pizza and the best bagels.
I mean, but we've learned about this going to different breweries and stuff where they have special water treatment plants that will simulate water.
Yeah, they can
from
mimic
other
water
places.
from anywhere. Yeah.
That's just so weird. I mean, water's water.
It's not, though.
It's not.
Like when you look at the chemical compounds and all the minerals and stuff that it picks up along the way to your faucet, it changes the taste of things.
So are you the kind of guys that, you prefer to get the water from the fridge or from the tap?
From the bottle.
From the bottle.
We have very hard water here.
We have very hard well water here. It's not
Ours
good.
comes from a bunch of flooded mines.
Yeah,
Like
ours
ours
comes
has
from the
mineral
mountain that
depo-
comes
like-
under us.
Yeah, we have very heavy, hard mineral deposits and stuff.
I see. Well,
So in the middle of the main room of Via Napoli, there's a long communal table, and it was built actually in Florence, Italy. It features hand-painted tiles depicting iconic monuments in Italy. The restaurant has high vaulted ceilings, imported ceramics, and blown glass. And there's a lot of windows in this place. I mean, if you sitting inside the main dining area, there's just windows everywhere. It's very bright and airy. We sat in like a room off to the side, and it just felt like a hallway because it was a little darker. It looked out over into the patio area, but it just seemed darker and just narrow and smaller. The next restaurant is Tutto Italia, also operated by the Bettina Group. And I could have sworn that this restaurant was signature dining, but I couldn't find anything else. It's not signature dining.
It's never been, no.
I thought it was.
Mm-mm.
So Disney's description of this restaurant is relaxed old world ambiance as you enjoy chicken, fish, handmade pasta, lasagna, and more. On the outside patio or in the airy dining room amid murals of ancient Rome and sparkling chandeliers, relish the rich textured flavors of authentic Italian dishes for the menu created by award-winning chef and California restaurateur Joaquim Spilacci. This restaurant, I love this place. We haven't been here in a while, but they have a zucchini torte that is absolutely amazing. It's roasted zucchini with pomodoro, mozzarella, and Parmesan cheese. It is so good.
so when you compare it to Olive Garden, that was in jest.
It was.
Okay.
Very, very much so.
They bring fresh olives to the table with the oil,
Yes.
and it's
Love the
I can
oils.
eat those olives. They're so fresh tasting. It's yummy.
Oh, and their cannoli for dessert is so delicious.
It's good that I wasn't hungry before we started this episode, 'cause I'm just fucking starving again.
The last time we ate here, it was the end of our trip, and we had dining credits left over, so we had a full sit-down breakfast. We ate here for lunch, and then I want to say it was California Grill for dinner.
Yes.
So we were very fat that day.
Sad part is, I thought I wasn't going to eat that much. I ate everything.
And this was back when the dining plan gave you appetizer,
No.
entree.
No. It's because we had the deluxe. The deluxe dining plan always gives you
Well, yeah.
appetizer, entree, and dessert.
So we were full.
Yes.
Needless to say. There's also Tutto Gusto wine cellar, which boasts 200 plus bottles of wine, and they say small bites, but if you look at the menu, I mean, you can get spaghetti, ravioli, lasagna, chicken parmesan, meatball parmesan. You can get pretty much dinner.
Just eat it with small bites.
Yeah, Take small bites and drink a lot of wine.
A lot of wine.
There's also the little gelati cart that's outside the perfumery, and that has your limoncello margarita. If you're interested.
And gelato.
And gelato, but yeah, gelato. Give me the limoncello margarita, and that does it for food in Italy.
All right.
So it's a quick.
I mean, it's pretty though, and in my opinion, it's one of the best themed areas in World Showcase, where you actually feel like you're transported somewhere. Germany to me feels like an outside festival booth.
I've been to an area in Tennessee, up around the Gatlinburg area, that looks just like the Germany Pavilion.
But that's what I'm saying.
I mean, down in
It's very
Allentown,
generic.
there's an area that looks just like it.
Yeah. So yeah, that didn't wow me. The Germany Pavilion.
I mean,
and same thing with the France Pavilion. It's just the Eiffel Tower in the background looks cool. The rest of it wasn't that great. Now the new stuff they're doing on the backside of the Ratatouille ride looks really fun.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what that looks like.
So I mean, just the atmosphere that this area particularly creates, it's just pretty cool in my opinion, and it's all due to the building themes. The building themes that we have different parts of Italy kind of blended together, from Venetian to Florence and Roman architecture. The Venetian architecture is pretty much represented by the St. Mark's. Here we go. Okay, so I'm going to start that over. So the Venetian architecture is represented by a recreation of St. Mark's bell tower. And this is an 85-foot recreation of this bell tower, which is in Venice, Italy. It's located in the Piazza San Marco, and it's actually supposed to have a actual gold foiled angel on top, which is very similar to the one that is actually in Venice. Can you say that word, Mikey? I know you looked at it.
No, I don't have that word.
Damn it.
I have the D word. I've got the D. I don't have.
Well, the only thing that comes up is St. Mark's Basilica. When I look.
No, it's Campanile.
Campari.
No, it's not Campari.
Oh, I got it. Yeah, I can't pronounce that either.
It's too many letters.
Campanile?
Sure. Right to the left
Captain
of the
Tennille.
What?
I said Captain Tennille.
Yes. Now, to the left of the tower is La Gemma Elegante shop, representing a replica of the Doge's... Nope. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right either. Palace.
Go with it.
What?
Doge. So
Doge?
Doge is...
Okay. Now, this they actually completed with marble-like facade that's used in the original palace. And this is built in a Venetian Gothic style, and one of the main landmarks of the city of Venice in northern Italy. Palace was a residence of the Doge of Venice, who was the supreme authority of the former Venetian Republic. I didn't know all that.
And this actually looks really cool. Like, if you look at the actual photos of the palace located in Venice, and then just look at a front-on view of what's in World Showcase, it's very, very, very similar. It's not actually, a perfect copy of it. And then they had to scale it down, so it's really cool because it's known for, it's got a lot of archways. If you were to go to Venice and look at it, the whole thing has archways all the way down, and if you looked at like a sidewalk and walked down, it's archways. And they've recreated that in Epcot, but they're just so much smaller. So you see people standing in these arches in Venice, and there's like 8 feet of airspace over their head, and then you get to Epcot, and it's like they got a total of 8 feet. Well, in general.
Did you compare the bell tower?
Oh yeah, the one in Venice is like 400 feet.
Yeah, this is
feet,
83.
It's hundreds of feet. Yeah, no, I get it. You can't have anything bigger than the castle.
Very, very close.
Yeah, but it all works, and that's a true testament to the art direction that the Imagineers get to take when they're laying this stuff out.
Some other design inspirations were taken from hallmarks of Italian architecture, such as the columns of San Marco and San Torrideo, in the Piazza San Marco in Venice, Italy. And these are just basically the column structures that you see throughout the whole area. Bridges are based off the Ponte della Paligia, and that's a bridge based in Venice, Italy. So everything here was actually taken and inspired by something in Italy, which is not the case, I feel, for a lot of the other pavilions.
They actually built an island along the Path of World showcase just because there is an island in Italy that wanted this bridge to connect to. So, I mean, yeah, they could have taken the easy route and just ran it all the way across, but they really made it. And I think the reason this all works so well with the water there is because of Venice.
Oh, without a doubt.
How it is surrounded by water, so it just feels right.
Of course, like Mikey said before, we also have the gondolas, which are tied to things that kind of look like barbershop poles to me, but...
Yeah, I hadn't paid any attention to that in any of my trips to Epcot. It just kind of fell into the background because if I'm looking out across World Showcase Lagoon, I'm probably looking at Spaceship Earth.
Yeah.
Getting that, that particular view, and I didn't take into any consideration these poles that were there, and that's what they're for. That's where they, the gondola pilots would tie off their boats.
I want to say this is, besides this, and I think is it the Japan or China pavilion that has the arches in the water? Japan. I think it's just this in the Japan pavilion that have actually something in their water, in the water in the pavilion.
I don't think the one in Japan is in the water though, is it?
No, it's not.
I thought it was.
They've got like a rock garden almost right out there that it sets on, I think.
So I guess this would be the only one then. I mean, besides like the restaurants that are placed directly on the water, I'm not counting those.
Right.
I'm talking about something that's actually part of the area that's in the water.
Yeah, I
think you're right.
I think we'd have to get a good look around the Rose and Crown, I guess, to see if there's anything English set out in the water
Do they
around
have
that.
tea?
But they don't have a harbor.
If they did, they'd throw the tea in it.
That's right.
You
Suck it, Lipton.
Oh my god. We also have the Neptune Fountain, which is supposed to be reminiscent of the Rome's Trevi Fountain, and that's a fountain in Trevi district in Rome, Italy. And this is supposed to represent the largest Baroque fountain and one of the most famous fountains in the world. So if you see actual pictures of the Trevi Fountain, it's easily recognizable. It's been in multiple movies throughout, like, mostly rom-coms and stuff like that are placed in Italy. But it is one of the most famous fountains in all the world. And last but not least, we have Il Bel Cristallo shop, which is meant to resemble the exterior of the Sistine Chapel, which I kind of get, and then I kind of don't when I look at it. So that one's hit or miss on me for that one.
Yeah.
I mean, I just don't see the Sistine Chapel in that one. As for landscaping, they actually brought in a lot of the gardening plants from Italy. So you'll see some olive trees, Mediterranean citrus trees, kumquat trees, cypress, and pines. And these are all found in the formal garden right in that little island area, I want to say.
Now, do they have someone that goes out there to harvest these? Are they bearing?
I would assume
fruits?
so, because I can picture people trying to climb over to try to get some of that fruit.
Right. Or birds.
Well, the birds would take care of it because the birds usually eat it before it crashes.
Oh, I don't know much about birds. I'm not much of an aviist.
Ornithologist. Isn't that a bird?
I didn't realize you were an aviist.
I think Tim's right. Whatever it is, I'm not an ologistist of any kind. I'm a ginger.
You're the bird
That's
watcher.
why you're an aviist?
Yep. And that we don't care about no birds. They poop on cars. And as Walt Disney said, they'll poop in your food.
Oh, God.
That's a direct quote.
I know it is.
Well, that's cool that they brought in Italian foliage, botanicals.
Yes. It's pretty awesome. I mean, but they did this for most of the areas.
Most of the pavilions, yeah.
I can 100% tell you that I didn't notice they had any type of trees back there that weren't normal to Florida.
The only reason why I noticed is because during Food and Wine, they'll usually put signs in front of each tree to tell you what kind of tree it is. So if you're really careful and you look through that little garden area, it'll tell you this is an olive tree, this is a
They do that
citrus.
for flower and garden, not for
Oh, that too. But they do both.
Well, that would make sense, I
no,
guess.
it's flower
I
and
don't know.
garden. I've never seen it for Food and Wine. I've seen it for Flower and Garden.
Yo, hey Disney, leave the plaques out. Make it a plaque and leave it out all the time so people can see it.
I kind of agree.
Yeah.
You know, let them know you went that extra mile, because I wouldn't have any idea that it wasn't native to Florida.
Bring back the edutainment.
Also, I wouldn't know what really is native to Florida except an orange tree.
Grapefruit.
Cypress trees.
Grapefruit trees.
Palm trees.
I don't know. No, I'm not a horticulturalist. We've been through this. I'm not a list.
You're not an ologist.
I don't do lists or ologists.
You're not about the ologies.
Nope, not ologies, just a few of G's.
So now I just mentioned the El Bill Cristo or Bel Cristo Cristallo shop, however you say it. So Mikey, why don't you tell us some of the things you can find in the shops?
I loved him in City Slickers.
He was awesome. He was really funny, especially when he got on the horse for the first time.
I was better in Throw Mob from the Train.
Hello.
Put that thing back. Well, I loved him in Monsters Inc. too, so.
He gets around. Okay, yeah, like you said, located inside the reimagined Doge's Palace is the Il Bel Cristallo, which translates literally to the beautiful crystal.
Dun dun dun. So it's one of those glass blowing places, isn't it?
It's like a condensed down version of Dillard's, is what it is. It's got a lot of fine Italian handbags. It's got some Italian-made jewelry. It's really well known for its collection of perfumes and colognes and lotions. They've actually got a huge selection of Acqua di Parma, which apparently that's an Italian perfume and cologne company. But what I noticed is they've actually got like some shaving kits on display, so maybe there's some beard stuff in there as well. Creams and lotions and beards, oh my.
The biggest... Well, I mean, you could also find Armani in here.
Yeah, no, you can find all of your popular Italian parfumi things, but like the display for this Acqua di Parma, it's a lot right there. And what I really noticed was the big box that had a razor in it, and I'm sure other shit. So I was thinking, well, that's interesting to find a razor shaving kit.
I've never seen that
in Epcot. Yeah, it's weird.
I'll have to take a look next time we're there. I have never seen that.
I saw it in a YouTube video tour of the store, and that's what I noticed. Like all these bottles and shit. And I go, whoa, razor. And it's not like the package is the size of the razor. It's it's like a cereal box sized box that it's in. So I would assume there's other stuff in there. Couldn't find anything else out about that. So Cheaters, assemble. What's in the box?
Only problem I have with this store is that take your average department store perfume counter, increase that smell by like 500%, and walk in there. It is.
Gives me a headache every time.
Yeah,
it
is.
It's Abercrombie, man.
It's worse than Abercrombie because these are competing smells from different people spraying all their stuff. Add that with the Florida body odor smell, and you got a combination that could kill you.
It's a Florida nursing home is what it is. You got a bunch of blue-haired biddies competing with each other over who's got the best perfume. It's church.
It's noxious.
It's fumey.
This will also be the place if you're looking for one of those authentic Ferrari brand T-shirts. This is where you're going to find it. So you too can be Eddie Maserati, but not.
I doubt he gets his shirts from there.
No, I'm sure he doesn't. He bedazzles them himself.
Yes.
Yeah, he probably does, but he probably gets them from his Ferrari dealer.
So now, the Il Bel Cristallo store kind of blends into the next store, like Disney is known to do. So you kind of fade right from that, and if you wander around long enough, you'll end up in La Gemma Elegante, which Adam mentioned earlier as well. And it's, I don't know, it's a nice, it's like the upscale side of this store, I guess. You know, where you have like the Murano glass decor and art, but the main draw here is the masks, and it's almost like, no?
Scary shit.
It's creepy.
Oh. Well, I mean, I appreciate it because it's handcrafted and it's art.
Well, yeah, I like it because it's handcrafted art, but it's creepy to look at.
Yes,
well,
I
walk
that in your
this
bedroom and have it right staring at you at night? Nope.
You know, it reminds me of the Masquerade scene in the Labyrinth.
Yes.
The Labyrinth.
See, I thought you were going to go with Eyes Wide Shut. But yeah.
That works too.
We'll go with what you said. I don't know. I go into that area, and to me, it reminds me of like walking in almost into like an art display in a museum or something. And it's an interesting story about these masks. They're all paper mache, handcrafted, and it's all because of a guy named George, or Giorgio Ricotta Cheese. George Ricotta Cheese is he is actually a true Venetian mask artist in a tradition that dates back, for centuries. He relocated to Florida from Venice back in 2001 to represent his mom's company, which is called... I really should have pre-read these fancy words. The Balakolak Artisans of Venice.
What did you just call me?
A ballcock.
Cot.
Which is a part on a toilet. The Balakolak Artisans of Venice, and if you go in there, sometimes you can catch him actually painting the masks that he makes inside there at La Gemma, which, like I said, is part of Il Bel Cristallo. Now, across the street, kind of, from these stores, you can go over there and you can visit La Bottega Italiana, which means the Italian shop, the Italian store. It's what you would expect of if you were going to an actual tourist-type gift shop in Italy, I think. You'll find some housewares here, like, pot holders that just say Italia on it. Bottles for your cooking oils and the Italian oils that go in the bottles. You got Italian chocolates and Italian snacks and just some generic Italy touristy type shirts. This is where you'll find your, Topolino shirts with Mickey on them. Yeah,
Right.
What Adam said. You'll find some coffees because, like Italy. And you'll find mugs and cooking aprons. I mean, this is totally a gift shop. It's totally a gift shop. That said, the kitchen stuff does look really nice. And if you bought the whole set, it would look great in your kitchen. It's not really a Disney thing because it's, Italian. So it's all florally looking, but it does look nice. I mean, I'd put my pot on that trivet. I would. And then, just like the other two stores, La Bottega which is probably not how you pronounce it because I'm pronouncing it like it's Spanish. The bodega is connected to this tiny little wine cellar shop called Enoteca Castello, and listen, you figured it out by now. I'm no linguist. I'm no cunning linguist, but Enoteca Castello kind of just means the castle winery, basically. Enoteca is based off of a Greek word, but the Italian literal translation means wine shop. And then Castello is castle, so it's like the wine shop castle or the castle winery or, whatever you want to call it. Anyway, here you can find wine glasses and bottles of wine that you can purchase, but you could also have them served to you in a glass or get a little tasting flight. It is super tiny. This isn't a place that you would go to have a bottle to go get a glass of wine, I don't think, because it is...
Yeah, it's very small.
Very, very small. But at the same time, it's kind of cozy. I kind of like it because everything is like all warm and a lot of wood, and it reminds me of all these local wineries I've ever been to here in the South. These little mom and pop wineries where you can go in there and then you can get a few tastes and then you get a cheap bottle and take it home, but they're not cheap here.
Well,
they're pretty cheap. They're relatively cheap there.
They're relatively priced. For Italian wines, they're not crazy market up.
And you're probably not getting like your, premium Italian wines there.
Well, the bottles that I've seen there, that I've seen them out in the wild, and they're comparatively priced. They're not maybe $1 or $2 off. They're not. It's not ridiculous.
Well, that's not bad. That's not Disney high.
No, the same thing with the
Actually,
wine shop in France.
The wine shop in France, you can get a good deal on sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I like it. I like this storefront. It, like I said, it's cute. I just like the decor. They got little bitty wine barrels up on all the shelves and stuff like that. It kind of has a European countryside vibe to it when you go into this area. I don't know. That's just me.
Well, the other thing about this is that, for as small as it is, I never really see it crowded with people.
No, well, when I say I wouldn't go there for a glass, I wouldn't go there with a group to get wine.
All right, I can see that.
Like,
But
if you were...
I can't say that either, because we all kind of raided the sake bar once.
Well...
So, I mean, we
Yeah,
had a
and
bunch of people
That's a
in
tiny
there.
little booth, and there was a bunch of us in there.
And that's all the places you can spend your monies for goods and wares in the Italy pavilion, which, again, they got perfumes and colognes, and I've heard a lot of people say they like to go to the cologne shops in Epcot and get a bottle of something, and they wear it, and it reminds them of their trip. I've never thought of doing that. Maybe I'll consider it. Maybe I won't.
It is a really, really good idea, because I've realized that if you have a different cologne that you wear to different places, it will always remind you of that place.
I've heard that the sense of smell is the strongest sense that
Attached to
triggers
memory.
to memory.
Yeah.
It's smell and taste. Like, if you tasted something, and if you close your eyes and taste something, I learned this on the Jeff Goldblum thing with the ice cream. So, but but it's true. It's your sense of smell. It's your sense of taste. Because you're always, like, especially now, we're so overwhelmed by, like, noise and pictures and constantly on the phone. Actually smelling something and tasting something is different than actually seeing something or hearing something. So those trigger memories more often than just looking at a picture or reading something.
Yeah, it's different. It's deeper, I think, that it brings it up from. So, I mean, I can see that it's definitely something. Like, hey, listen, if you're listening to the show and if you're listening to the show, then you hear this, so that's a moot point. Why would I even say that? Hey, listen, if you're not listening to the show, you should. Damn it.
But you wouldn't hear that either if you're not listening.
Right. So if that's something you do, if you're like a perfume cologne wearer and you always get something at Disney to remind you of it, comment back when we drop the show, and because I'd be interested to know what you're wearing, where you get it, and stuff like that, because this is something that I'm legitimately interested in looking into, because I don't want to always smell like a heathen.
I hear a lot of people do that with the Norway Pavilion. They'll get the cologne from the Norway Pavilion because they can't get it anywhere else, and it reminds them of going to Epcot. Stuff in Italy you can get.
Yeah, a lot of this. Well, the only one that the Acqua di Parma is a little bit harder to get, but like you have like Gucci, you have
Acqua di Gio, which
Acqua
is what
di-
I used to wear.
Armani is there. So I mean, a lot of the stuff that you can get there, you can get.
Dolce & Gabbana.
So after you're done with your drinking, you want to be entertained, right? After you're done with your eating and drinking, you looked around the pavilion, you want to be entertained a little bit. Well, I got some good news and some bad news. The pavilion didn't lose all their entertainment acts, but they only have the one now. And this is Sergio. And basically he's a comedic juggler with a whistle that's really loud as fuck.
It is. Listen, when I watched the YouTube video and got the tour of those stores, it's like the whole time I could hear that whistle, and all I could think of is Terry Crews with his shirt off at a rave, dancing with glow sticks.
But yeah, it's loud. And basically, this is a little bit of crowd interaction. And he's a classically chained juggler. And he also does some mime, and the crowd gets involved. It's cute. I don't think it's something I would go out of my way to watch, because it's good street entertainment, but it's not much more than that, in my opinion.
See, I would stop and check that out, but that's me. I've always been fascinated by those guys who like balance all that shit and then stand up on top of it, or balance it on top of their nose and chin and stuff like that.
Well, he's not the climber.
Where's the climber?
France. He just juggles and like stuff like that. He doesn't do the chair thing. France gives me anxiety.
France gets all the good stuff. Ratatouille, White Flags.
And, I mean, the act is about 20-minute longs. So, I mean, it's cute for what it is, but it's not something that I would go necessarily see. Now, back in October 2014, when they got rid of a lot of the standard acts in Epcot, they actually brought in an entertainment that was actually based from Italy. And I'm going to kill these two words. It's Sembindatori di San Spolocro.
Nope, I think you nailed it.
I'm sure I did. Nope.
Okay.
And basically what this was is that they were a flag throwing show, and they actually had an accompaniment with live drums and horns. This closed in October 2016, so it was only there for 2 years. This was also extremely loud, but it was kind of cool to watch.
So throwing flags, was this like, flag line at the high school band, college band throwing flags? How were they throwing it? Because the physics of flinging a flag, the fabric's going to create drag. It's not going to spin very well. I'm genuinely asking the question of how that worked.
Yeah, that's pretty. They'd flip them, they'd throw them to each other. I mean, they had it down. This is an act that's based from Italy. There's an actual troupe in Italy that just does this.
No, I'm down. I like watching people throw shit.
It's
and
gone.
Catch it. Well, I'm up.
I'm sorry. I apologize.
Now, where was this act
This
located?
was done in that circle, your little stage area. That
is that the al fresco theater? Al fresco
theater al fresco.
I pulled that out of my ass. I said it earlier, but I didn't remember it at all.
That is the theater al fresco. That's that little round circle where people just kind of sit and congregate on right now.
Yeah, well, if they're food and wine, that's where you sit, so you can have your food and wine.
Or you sit and watch your kids as they play in the fountain.
Yeah, pretty much. We've seen that a lot. Also,
kid's gonna kid.
Tater's gonna tate.
Potentator's gonna potentate.
You also used to be able to meet Pinocchio here back in the day, but I don't think that happens anymore either.
Yeah, I don't think Italy has a meet now, do they?
No.
At least I don't. They used to be, but I don't. A lot of stuff. When the great rollback of entertainment happened, Italy was hit and hasn't brought anything back.
So that kind of catches us up and summarizes Italy. And this is kind of a part one of a two-part for Ultimate Epcot, where we wanted to dig into the history and just the goings-on in the Italy Pavilion before we set about how we would try to, improve it and incorporate some stuff. So we'll have a second part coming out on this, but we didn't want to leave out the main reason we're looking at the Italy Pavilion. Adam, we had a pretty big announcement last week.
Yes,
on the
we
live
did.
show.
Yes, we did. Our main meetup is going to actually take place in the little private island on the Italy Pavilion, or in the Italy Pavilion. Is it online or inline? I always get those confused, right, Brent?
It's going to be waterfront of the Italy Pavilion.
Yes.
Italy Isola.
Where you can look at those barbershop poles that the gondolas are tied
definitely.
onto.
So what we're doing, for those who missed the live broadcast, is we have 100 spots available. It's going to be open bar and past hors d'oeuvres for about 2 hours. We're going to have that spot contained for us. It's going to be about $135 per person, paid in advance. Check out the Facebook group and check out the event page to find out ways to pay. And it's going to be an awesome time. We're going to have private event viewing of the fireworks.
Whatever that show is, because this is going to be next year.
And there's going to be an open bar for 2 hours in Disney for $135 a person. That's what, 3 drinks in Disney?
Pretty much. Plus, you're getting past hors d'oeuvres with that, too. So.
But no cheese.
No cheese.
Maybe there'll be a cheese hors d'oeuvre.
I don't think there was one on the list.
Damn it.
I don't remember. Off the top
I'm
of
bringing
my
my
head.
own cheese. I'll go through security. They're going to say, what is that? It's cheese.
At last we checked, I believe 45 spots were already taken.
Yes.
So we're about
no,
halfway
it's more
there.
than that.
The last I checked with Sydney was 45.
I thought we were over 50 at this point.
We might be now, but it's been a couple days since I checked with her, so I'm
So
sure
basically,
she'll update when she hears this.
We're halfway to filling up the private party spots.
Yes.
So if you're interested, it's in your best bet to head to the events page so you can get a good idea of when it is, what time it is, and get
Time
that.
has not been announced yet.
Okay.
We will not know the exact time, until we know the exact time of the fireworks show that evening. But
Gotcha.
That should be out within probably, 4 or 5 months from now.
I mean, but
Probably
if
before
you're
that.
going, you know you're going to be there at park close. So really, it's arbitrary. Just have an earlier dinner and clear your evening plans. send the money in so you can get your spot reserved, because this is not going to be one of those situations where we have extras that we're going to raffle off. Once we hit the 100th person, I'm guessing, it's over unless somebody backs out, right?
Pretty much.
Pretty much.
Okay. All right. Now, there's a theme for this, yeah?
There is.
Yeah.
And because we are doing it in 2020, the theme of the party is the Roaring 20s.
So we're going to make it look like the Edison.
What's the Edison?
I think it was an ugly vehicle.
Okay.
Came out in the 50s.
Oh, but it's the 20s.
But that was the Edsel.
Oh, it was the Edsel. Sorry.
I thought she was on, wasn't she the neighbor in I Love Lucy?
No, that was Ethel Merman.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, much like we had the everybody dressing in their favorite prom attire for this most recent Sheetup for Shooter Prom, we want to have a good time, and we want to walk into Epcot, let them know we came here to fucking party. So it's going to be dressed in your finest, and basically it's Dapper Days in Epcot.
Pretty much, yeah.
Almost.
For our cheaters.
You give me a lot of flappers and gangsters, I think.
Yeah, it's dappers and flappers is what it is. It's guys and dolls.
Just make sure you don't bring any, like, guns, like fake guns.
Or
'cause
props
they're not
or anything.
Props
Yeah, no
are not
props.
going to be allowed in.
No.
Maybe a cane. You'll get in with a cane, but, like, more than that, you probably will not.
And we'll have details as far as where to meet, because you will have to have credentials.
Correct.
Yes.
And I think we got a theme for it. We got a location for it. Have we got a mascot for this?
We do
Sheetup?
have a
I know
mascot.
We had Oaken
Yes.
for Big Summer Blowout.
Yes. And the actual mascot for this one will be Baymax. And because it's called Big Fall Fallout, and I don't remember how we got there, but we did.
It was probably a drunken connect the dots, because Fallout Boy was the main band on the soundtrack for Big Hero 6.
It got really weird.
And,
Even though I always think of Owl City.
And Paint the Night.
Yeah.
When can I see you again?
So there, okay, yeah. So we got the Big Fall Fallout,
Yes.
and we are taking over an island for a couple hours in the Italy Pavilion for private viewing, which basically means everybody is walking around wanting to know, how do I become one of those cool people? Why are they down there, and why do they all look like they're from olden times?
Pretty much.
We're time travelers.
That's what it is. We're
Wibbly
time traveling
wobbly,
elves.
timey-wimey stuff.
Well, you said the Italy Pavilion was like a TARDIS, so there you go.
There you go. It all fits. Full circle, David Tennant.
Like Adam said, we're only able to get this for 100 total people, and basically half of that is gone. So
If it's
please
something
check
you're
out the
thinking
events
about,
page.
get in there now.
If you're thinking about it, it's in your best interest to jump in early, because it's going to be gone. But this likely won't be the only get together hangout thing during Big Fall Fallout. So don't not come just because you weren't one of the 100 people that reserved a spot. Go ahead and come on down to the Big Fall Fallout. It's not just about that one dinner, or not even dinner. It's drinks and no cheese hors d'oeuvres.
Cocktail 2 hours.
There's more to do than just sweat profusely in a zoot suit.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Well, it'll be
Y'all-
November, so it'll be kind of it'll be a little chilly, hopefully.
We'll see. There's also, you all talked about fishing again.
Yeah, we'll have more details as we get closer, because we cannot book anything until 180 days out. So once we get closer, we'll throw some feelers out, see who's interested, and see how many boats we need to
Commandeer.
reserve.
You'll throw your bait out and see who bites on it.
Yo
is what
ho,
you're
yo
saying,
ho.
Tim.
For those
Just
for those of y'all who aren't fishing, there will be another event, or not interested in fishing. There'll be another event that we haven't decided on yet for that morning time as well.
So there's lots going to be coming up, and some really fun exclusive stuff. So
How can they find out all the exclusive stuff, Mikey?
well, I mean, they can find out if they're members of the Facebook group. If you're on Facebook, you're on Facebook. I know you're on Facebook. Everybody's on Facebook. Just hit the little magnifying glass, type in the number 3 space sheets. You'll see us. Join the group. That way you can get in on the Big Fall Fallout or potential fishery trips. Or, dare I say it, we have other things coming up just this coming month to finish off the year and make it absolutely amazing. And you can't be a part of that if you're not a part of the Facebook group. For instance, there's an ornament exchange coming up.
That's closed already.
Yes.
I know. I'm just saying.
Okay.
It's coming up. And if you're not part of the Facebook group, you missed out on the ornament exchange.
Yep.
So there's always events. We talked about the Big Fall Fallout, which is months away, but we got shit going down in what, about 8 weeks?
January, we have Sheeters Getting Dopey. A bunch of us are going down trying to run these stupid dopey marathon races. Bunch of special people that we are.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why you would do that. I can't think of any good solid reason why you would
'Cause we're
run that
dopey.
much.
Because we're
Get it?
mental.
Dopey. We're dopey.
Now, just honest truth, you two, because you guys do, active shit. You finish this dopey challenge and you get the dopey challenge medal. You're not going to do that dopey challenge again, are you?
Probably
It's gonna be a
not,
one and
ever.
done
This
thing.
is gonna be a one
I
and
think
done.
I'm retiring from running after this.
I won't retire. I won't say that because
Unless I don't finish, then I'll try to do it again.
Well, that's true. But the other problem is I also have Princess in February.
Yes, you do. You got the Princess, the half. Are you doing all? Are you signing up for all of those?
I couldn't do the 5 because the way my vacation's falling out, I have to come in on Friday.
So you're going to show up and run.
So Friday, I land like at midnight Friday morning, and I will be running the 10.5 on that. I won't be running the 5.
Okay.
Because the 5 is actually Friday morning, and there's just no way. But there are a bunch of ladies. This one's for the girls meetup.
And if you want to find out more about the running events, and maybe you just want to feel like you're a better person to see people encouraging each other, you can check that out at our. I don't want to call it a running group
It's a fitness group.
because it's kind of become just kind of like a fitness.
Yeah.
Not everybody runs.
Group thing, but it's still called 3 sheets to the finish line because you don't have to be running to be caught up in a race.
Deep.
I don't know. That's I didn't know where I was going.
That was deep.
Thank you.
That touched
Thank
my
you.
soul.
It's very deep. Touched my soul.
You wouldn't know what that's like.
I wouldn't. I wouldn't know what it's like to have your own soul, but I'm familiar with stealing someone else's. Every time a ginger tells a joke and someone laughs, take a little bit of their life force. Carrot Top is our god.
Carrot Top looks like a buff old lady now.
Well, that's what happens when you've absorbed so much life force.
You turn into a grandma?
He is 3,000 years old. I say this pretty much, every time as we kind of wrap up here. I feel like I just don't give a lot of the pavilions around Epcot a fair shake because I'm always in a rush and you're moving along and you're there to food and wine. So you're only ever seeing what's hanging out at the kiosks or out at the carts and stuff like that. And I never really get a chance to get back there and appreciate the areas that aren't stores or aren't shops because I know there's some, quiet areas around the Italy Pavilion. It's got like a really cool outdoor staircase that, you can't climb up, but, it'd be cool for a photo op or something like that. So I just feel like I do Epcot the wrong way and I'm moving too fast. And I think I've done that through most of Disney. So
I kind of agree with you on that, Mikey.
Thanks,
Considering
Adam. I
you
appreciate
couldn't
that.
find
People mover.
the People Mover.
Oh, yeah, but now People Mover is my must-do whenever I'm in Magic Kingdom.
See? But you couldn't find it, so that means you're running through it.
I
You're
couldn't.
missing stuff.
I know. And you know what? I think it comes down to my first time there. I was hitting all the main rides that everybody talks about, like the big one, like Splash Mountain, Spaceship. No, Space Mountain. I'm like my wife, son of a
Oh my
monkey's
God.
uncle. So yeah, I moved too quickly, and I just want to encourage everybody to take the time. Don't discover something on YouTube. Be the person who can tell someone about it firsthand.
Well, and if you want to make it fun, whenever they have the festivals, they have these little scavenger hunt things that you can do, and it brings you into like the depth of these pavilions. Like for Food and Wine, they have find the little Remy statues. For Flower and Garden, there's all the Easter eggs. And I want to say the one year we did the Easter egg one, there was an egg at the top of the bell tower.
Yes, there was.
So, I mean, it gets you in there and looking at all the different parts of these pavilions. If you're not going to just go in there and wander around yourself, go do one of these things and they'll bring you in there and you have some fun while you do it.
I think it's going to come down to I'm going to have to do Agent P.
I want to do Agent
That's
P
the one
so
we haven't
bad.
done yet.
Yeah.
Just because I'll be able to move around more, and that one's all about just looking at the pavilion and not necessarily looking at the shops. You know, that's what
Activating all
do.
the special effects in the window.
Yeah, you
Well,
do
I
Agent
think
P.
some of
and
them
get
might
cut.
be in the shops. Because
Yeah,
there
some
are
of them are.
times where you actually have to talk to people to get answers.
Well, I know the one in Mexico is inside the pyramid, which is just a big store, flea market.
Pretty much.
So, anyway, yeah, we're closing up. That's I guess I led with closing remarks, which is kind of weird,
That is kind of scary.
but also good because that means I'm off the hook now, and I can just say Tim.
Italy Pavilion is one of my favorites. It has my favorite type of food. The architecture is very, I don't want to say romantic, but it's welcoming and inviting. I always want to walk in and walk around the piazza and just hang out there for a little while. So it's one of my top pavilions in Epcot.
Yeah, I need to just pay more attention when I'm there to see what a piazza even is. I think it's plaza is what I'm going to go with.
I excuse me.
Whoa, shit,
I'm
Adam.
dying.
Okay, Hot Toddy, let's hear from you there.
I'm out. That's the problem. I don't have no more drink.
Oh,
Have to go make more. I love the pavilion. It's fun. I don't think I ever brought anything from there though, except for drinks and food. So I can't say I really do a lot of shopping there, but I do remember the flag throwers. I wish they would bring more stuff like that back because they were actually authentically from Italy, and I don't think we have a lot of that except for maybe the Japan pavilion now with the drummers.
sometimes the Canadian pavilion gets actual Canadian musicians.
True.
Well, they always have a band now.
Yeah, but the band rotates and they're not always from Canada.
They always are from Canada.
I think they are, but they don't. I mean, they don't play like a traditional Canadian music because what really is that? I would say.
Folk. It's folk.
Yeah, I guess it is. Julius, hit me up. I want some traditional Canadian music on my Spotify.
We'll have Celine Dion.
Not folk. Not folk. They got Justin Bieber. Not folk.
No.
So yeah, as we close the show on Italy, talking about Canada. So as we close, guys, I guess I just want to say thanks for sharing your time and thanks for sharing your thoughts. And until we drink Disney again, ciao.
Ciao, man.
Ciao.
And slanty.
And thank you!